This is the video for page 99. The homework was 52 to 72 even. I'm going to do 51 to 71 odd. Here we go. Alright, so if you have absolute values on both sides, you just have to do the same thing we did before. So you do 4x minus 2 is equal to the absolute value of negative 10, which is positive 10. And then the negative absolute value of negative 10, which is going to be 4x minus 2 is equal to the negative absolute value of negative 10, which is going to be 4x minus 2 is equal to negative 10. So you're going to add 2 to both sides over here. So you're going to get 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4, you get x equals 3. Then over here you're going to add 2 to both sides. You're going to get 4x equals negative 8. Divide both sides by 4, you get x equals negative 2. Okay? The original is 4x, absolute value of 4x minus 2 is equal to the absolute value of negative 10. So that's what we're going to plug into to make sure our answers are correct. So we have the absolute value of 4 times 3 minus 2 is equal to the absolute value of negative 10. So it's the absolute value of 12 minus 2 is equal to 10 because the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. 12 minus 2 is 10. The absolute value of 10 is 10, so x minus 3 is a good answer. Over here you have the absolute value of 4 times negative 2 minus 2 is equal to the absolute value of 10. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 minus 2 is equal to the absolute value of negative 10. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. The absolute value of negative 10 is equal to the absolute value of negative 10. That is true. So you have 3 and negative 2 as good answers. Okay, here you have the absolute value of 5x plus 1 is equal to the absolute value of 4x plus 7. So you have 5x plus 1 is equal to 4x minus 7. And then 5x plus 1 is equal to negative 4x minus 7. So here you're just going to move the smaller x to the larger x, leaving you x plus 1 is equal to negative 7. Then you'll subtract 1 from both sides, giving you x equals negative 8. Then over here you're going to distribute this negative, giving you 5x plus 1 is equal to negative 4x plus 7, because negative times a negative is a positive. You're going to move your smaller x to your larger x, and we're doing opposite, so you add, giving me 9x plus 1 is equal to 7. Subtract 1 from both sides, you get 9x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 9, you get x is equal to 6 over 9. But when we reduce that, we get 2 over 3. So we're going to plug back in to the original, and the original is that right there. So let's start plugging back in. Alright, so I've got the absolute value of 5 times negative 8 plus 1 is equal to the absolute value of 4 times negative 8 minus 7. Alright, absolute value of 5 times negative 8 is negative 40 plus 1 is equal to the absolute value of negative 32 minus 7. Alright, so this is the absolute value of negative 41 is equal to the absolute value of negative, what is that, 39? Are those the same thing? Oh, you know what I did right there? Silly me. What is negative 40 plus 1? It is negative 39. Now it's the same thing. So x equals negative 8 is a good answer. Gotta be careful there. Now here you have the absolute value of 5 times 2/3 plus 1 is equal to the absolute value of 4 times 2/3 minus 7. Okay, so this ends up being the absolute value of 10/3 plus 1 is equal to the absolute value of 8/3 minus 7. Alright, so I'm going to make this 3 over 3 instead of 1. And instead of 7, I'm going to make this 21 over 3. So then this becomes 13 over 3. Absolute value of 13 over 3 is equal to the absolute value of negative 13 over 3, which is the same thing. So 2/3 is also an answer. Sometimes it sucks to have to plug fractions in, but we got our answer. Okay, immediately you should see that this is an absolute value equal to something negative, so you should immediately be able to tell me that this is no solution. Don't be fooled. Don't try to do a bunch of work. This is a negative, so it is no solution. Alright, here you have 2x minus 6 is equal to 10 minus 2x, and then you have 2x minus 6 is equal to negative 10 minus 2x. Alright, I'm going to add 2x to both sides, giving me 4x minus 6 is equal to 10. Add 6 to both sides here, giving me 4x is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 4, you get x is equal to 4. Over here, you're going to distribute the negative. 2x minus 6 is equal to negative 10 plus 2x, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides, giving me negative 6 is equal to negative 10. That is a false statement. So we're going to come back over and work with 4 and see if this actually gives us a true statement. See if this is a true solution. We're going to plug it in and make sure it works. So we've got the absolute value of 2 times 4 minus 6 is equal to the absolute value of 10 minus 2 times 4. Okay, well the absolute value of 8 minus 6 is equal to the absolute value of 10 minus 8. Well, this is the absolute value of 2 is equal to the absolute value of 2. So it looks like x equals 4 is a good answer. Alright, here we have 2x minus 5 over 3 is equal to 7. And then we've got 2x minus 5 over 3 will be equal to negative 7. So first things first, I'm going to multiply 3 by both sides to get rid of that fraction, leaving me 2x minus 5 is equal to 21. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, giving me 2x is equal to 26. Divide both sides by 2. You get x is equal to 13. Do the same thing over here. Giving me 2x minus 5 is equal to negative 21. Add 5 to both sides. 2x is equal to negative, what is that? 16. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to negative 8. Okay, let's go ahead and see if both of these solutions work. Okay, so when we plug in 13, we get the absolute value of 2 times 13 minus 5 over 3 is equal to 7. And then over here we get the absolute value of 2 times negative 8 minus 5 over 3 equals 7. Okay, so let's do this left piece first. This is the absolute value of 26 minus 5 over 3 equals 7. So the absolute value of 21 over 3 equals 7. So the absolute value of 7 equals 7. So that's true. So 13 is an answer. Over here we have the absolute value of negative 16 minus 5 over 3 equals 7. So that's negative 21 over 3 equals 7, which is negative absolute value of negative 7 equals 7, which is true. So negative 8 is also a solution. Alright, first thing I need to do here is isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, giving me the absolute value of 5n equals 15. So I'm going to have 5n equals 15, and 5n equals negative 15. Divide both sides by 5, giving me n equals 3, and n equals negative 3. So I'm going to plug back in to see if it works. So 2 plus the absolute value of 15 equals 17. Okay, so that one works. Let's try over here. Yep, works out for both 3 and negative 3. Alright, so I have 2x minus 1 over 3 is equal to positive 5. And 2x minus 1 over 3 is equal to negative 5. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, leaving me 2x minus 1 is equal to 15. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. 2x is equal to 16. X is equal to 8 over here. Multiply 3 by both sides. Add 1. So I've got 8 and negative 7. Okay, let's check to make sure they're correct. So the original problem says 2x minus 1 over 3, the absolute value of 2x minus 1 over 3 equals the absolute value of negative 5. So this is the absolute value of 2 times 8 minus 1 over 3 equals the absolute value of negative 5. So that's the absolute value of 16 minus 1 over 3 equals the absolute value of negative 5, which is the absolute value of 15 over 3 equals 5, which is the absolute value of 5 equals 5, which is true. So x equals 8 is true. Now over here I would have 2 times negative 7 minus 1 over 3 equals the absolute value of negative 5. So that's the absolute value of negative 14 minus 1 over 3 equals 5. Absolute value of negative 15 over 3 equals 5. So this is the absolute value of negative 5 equals 5, which is true. So x equals negative 7 is also an answer. Okay, so here we have 2y minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4y. And then we have 2y minus 3 is equal to negative 9 minus 4y. So I'm going to add 4y to both sides, because remember we're always trying to keep our y's positive. So I have 6y minus 3 equals 9. Add 3 to both sides. You get 6y equals 12. So on this side we get y equals 2. I'm going to distribute the negative. So I get 2y minus 3 equals negative 9 plus 4y, because a negative times a negative is a positive. I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides, giving me negative 3 is equal to negative 9 plus 2y. Add 9 to both sides. So I get 6 is equal to 2y. Divide both sides by 2, you get 3 is equal to y. So the original is the absolute value of 2y minus 3 is equal to the absolute value of 9 minus 4y. So when I plug back into this, I get the absolute value of 2 minus 2, or 2 times 2 minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4 times the absolute value, is equal to the absolute value of 9 minus 4 times 2. So this is the absolute value of 4 minus 3 is equal to the absolute value of 9 minus 8, which gives us the absolute value of 1 is equal to the absolute value of 1, which is absolutely true. Over here, I'm going to plug in 3, so I have absolute value of 2 times 3 minus 3 is equal to the absolute value of 9 minus 4 times 3. So this is 6, absolute value of 6 minus 3 is equal to the absolute value of 9 minus 12. Absolute value of 3 is equal to the absolute value of negative 3, which is the same thing, so 3 is also an answer choice. Alright, here we have 3n plus 2 over 8 is equal to 1, and 3n plus 2 over 8 is equal to negative 1. First things first, clear that fraction by multiplying both sides by 8, giving me 3n plus 2 is equal to 8. Subtract 2 from both sides, you get 3n is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 3 and you get n equals 2. Same situation over here. Clear that fraction by multiplying by 8. So you get 3n plus 2 is equal to negative 8. Subtract 2 from both sides, you get 3n is equal to negative 10. Divide by 3, and you get n is equal to negative 10 thirds. Okay? The original equation is the absolute value of 3n plus 2 over 8 is equal to the absolute value of negative 1. So let's plug in and see if these work. So I've got the absolute value of 3 times 2 plus 2 over 8 is equal to 1, because the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So this is the absolute value of 6 plus 2 over 8 is equal to 1. The absolute value of 8 over 8 is equal to 1. That's true. So n is 2. So over here we've got the absolute value of 3 times negative 10 over 3 plus 2 all over 8 is equal to the absolute value of negative 1. This 3 and this 3 cancel, leaving you the absolute value of negative 10 plus 2 over 8 is equal to 1. Negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8, so you have negative 8 over 8, absolute value, is equal to 1. That's true. So negative 10 over 3 is also a good answer choice. Alright, we have x plus 4 is equal to 7 minus x, and x plus 4 is equal to negative 7 minus x. I'm going to add x to both sides on here on this left side, giving me 2x plus 4 is equal to 7. Subtract 4 from both sides, you get 2x is equal to 3. Divide both sides by 2, you get x is equal to 3 halves. Then over here, I'm going to distribute the negative. I get x plus 4 is equal to negative 7 plus x. Subtract x from both sides, you get 4 equals negative 7, which is a false statement, so we're not even going to go on there. So let's plug in here. We get 3 halves plus 4, absolute value, is equal to 7 minus 3 halves, the absolute value of that. So we need a common denominator. We've got 3 halves plus what over 2 will give me 4? So 8 over 2 is equal to 14 over 2. Okay. So we have 11 over 2, absolute value of 11 over 2 equals the absolute value of 11 over 2. So you know that x equals 3/2 is a good answer choice. Alright, last one. Dead giveaway, negative right here. So your answer is a big fat no solution. And that, my friends, is a good one to end on. You guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.